I think this year, to me, is really about creating a surge, like to create. I believe that I've kind of been on this banter. It took me a long time. When I say a long time, literally like 4 or 5 months of scratching my head, reflecting, just kind of analyzing, how far we've been, how far we've come, the things that we've done good, the things that we've done great, the gaps. There's always a lot of opportunity in gaps. And, sometimes you don't see your gaps, as you're going through growth, because growth camouflages a lot of weakness, like, a lot of gaps. And so, I wrote this out today. We were playing around, and I was like, kind of like the triad of performance. But like I have on here, like if it's a triad of performance, the pinnacle is purpose. And I think for the company, we started very heavily on purpose. And if I can elaborate why, if that's okay, I think it can give people perspective, because, I've been around this business, network marketing, for 29 years, and I definitely don't know more than anybody. I've had a lot of learning lessons, but I've also had a lot of success too, right? And so I've learned a lot, and I've seen a lot of things. I've made a lot of money. I've lost a lot of money. I've seen a lot of deals, and the thing that I know about our industry, especially where we're positioned right now for the next 2 or 3 or 4 years, there's not a better platform for anyone in this room, no matter how talented you are, unless you're just a fucking trust fund baby, to create massive cash flow that's leverage cash flow. I'm not saying that you can't make cash flow with other things, but like, okay, yeah, you sell a house for $10 million, you make, 2 or 3 million off of it or whatever, you gotta go sell another one, right? And I'm sure people can do that, but I'm saying if you really get a business built in network marketing and it's built properly, you can make a lot of money really fast in network marketing, it can be gone. And you can also make a lot of money fast, and you can make it long. And I've seen people make it long. But if you have, and I'm just using this, I'm gonna kind of have a bigger business conversation. But let's just say you make $1 million, $2 million, let's call it $3 million a year. I'm just using just numbers. I believe most people in network marketing never take it to the limits, because most people that achieve in network marketing, I want you all to hear me, their initial goal is 5 or 10 or 20 grand a month. They hit 100 grand a month and they think they're rich. So they never keep pressing down. And it's hard. I'm telling you, it is hard. Like, you start making $1 million a month and you start getting comfortable and you're like, oh, okay. But like, you can take it to 2 million. What do you have to do? The same thing you did to get it to, but people don't do the same thing. They turn into wanting to be trainers. They turn into wanting to manage people. They turn into taking a year off, and that's fine. Don't misunderstand me. I want you all to hear this, because I get misunderstood a lot. If Jessica wants to take a year off or 2 years off, she's entitled to do that. That's great for her. But for my business, I'm using this selfishly, that's not okay for my business. So if she takes it off, it's good for her, but I better replace that energy, because if I don't replace that energy, then it's going to be a matter of time before it slows down. Mm-hmm. And some people take off and they don't even tell you. They just kind of start enjoying life, and that's okay. But what I think a lot of people do is they're not financially orientated to understand, to enjoy that lifestyle for a decade, they have to keep it going. Mm-hmm. It's not going to keep itself going. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So 2 things that I became passionate about, and I'm just going to talk about this. So purpose was the very pinnacle for me for 2 reasons. Because I learned early on, when I was in my late 20s, early 30s, I can make a lot of money doing a lot of things. And I made a lot of money, and I was happy, and I was both unhappy, right? So I knew that money wasn't going to make me happy. It's just a commodity that allows us to do a lot of fun things. And I started looking into other industries. I had a buddy of mine at 26 was worth $150 million with the dot-com boom. I started working for him for free. I could get into this big, long story. Bottom line was, the grass isn't always greener. The grass is greener where you water it, right? And so I just kept coming.
Sometimes the grass is fertilized with bullshit.
Bullshit is probably good fertilizer too. every time I looked at something, I looked at my input to get my output long term, and I realized that network marketing, cash flow wise, would rival anything, including an NBA basketball player.
Yes.
Cash flow wise.
Yes.
So then I thought to myself, but what really makes me happy? And the thing that really makes me happy, if you know me well, like, it honestly is this. It's the events. It's knowing that we can shift someone's perspective in life. I think that that is what network marketing is about. Network marketing is built for the disenfranchised person that wants to win really, really bad. Mm-hmm. And I just found in my career that I was initially after the money, chasing the money, got to it and realized that the thing I liked the most about it and the thing that made me the most fulfilled was hearing people say, this changed my life. And it might not have changed it financially, but just the experience of knowing that there's more out there. It's hope, you know, and I've heard it for 29 years. It's a big one-liner in our industry, but really, we pitch hope. We don't pitch ketones, you know, and so my point being is, but purpose became very pinnacle because I knew that 90% of, and I want you all to take this as a challenge, right? Because I know that I'm going to strike someone, like, kind of poke at you, and you're going to be like, that's not me, and I'll show you. That's what I want. 90% of you in here might not be in this to get rich or to make money or to live abundant or whatever, right? 90% of the people won't. They have the ability to, they have the opportunity to, but they won't. That's not what they really want. 90% of the people that get in this business, they want to get something out of it, but it's not money. So if you're purpose driven and you can give them something to latch into, hope, growth, you know, perspective, experiences, these things, your business creates a long tail. If we just pitch money only from the beginning, the person that comes in for money will leave for money. Like, that's the truth. And there's a lot of money games. Like, if you just want to make money, there's a lot of money games out there. I could name 5 of them that probably you can make a lot of money a lot faster, but not longer. And you can make just as much here, right? It's just different. And so, but I knew that we had to have something purpose, because if you get your income to $250,000, $350,000, $400,000 a month, which is very feasible, probably let's just say $100,000 a month, and you want it to last, we better take care of 90% of the people that aren't going to make $100,000 a month. Does that make sense? That's the numbers of network marketing. It's the numbers of human beings. It's not a company. Like, all of the stats are the same, and it's just because most people aren't in it for that. Everyone wants to make $1 million until they find out what it takes to make it, and then they're like, you know, I'll get there later. I mean, but that's okay. It's okay. So the triad of performance. So I think that we've done purpose pretty well as a company and as a community. That was one of our number one things. Number 2 is product. Product, you know, when we first launched, and I think I did this because of some of my PTSD, honestly, and I think I did it also because whether it was conscious or unconscious, I knew that if we just became another opportunity-driven deal on the front end, we would dilute the power of the technology of what we have. It's the truth. And, you know, I think that product-wise, we've done a very good job. I think our company's foundation has been built off the product. It just has been. And, you know, but the product, honestly, is what validates the opportunity. But I think that as a company, if we want real performance, so I think the first, if you take a look at any trajectory of any company, organization, traditional or non-traditional, well, first of all, most companies don't even last 2 years, right? So to think a company is like at its peak in 4 or 5 years, you're insane. Like, the first 4 or 5 years establishes a company's foundation. But because we deal with a lot of masses and people that haven't been inundated or they don't have legacy businesses from their family, they don't understand that. So it's easy to come into a network marketing organization and think after 3 or 4 years, oh, well, I mean, timing's not right. I didn't get in at the right time. Like, what? How? I mean, that's just crazy. Like, just think about it. Like, Starbucks, like, their first 4 years, you hadn't even heard about them yet. What happened the first 4 years, going into the 5th year, is our company really established a foundation. We had foundational leadership. We shedded some people that literally weren't long-term players. We were establishing the product as a man. You got to remember, this product was not commercialized. There was protein powder is commercialized. Energy drinks, people know what it is. You couldn't find ketones anywhere in the world. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? So like, we had to focus, I think, on education and product. But we've never had our growth surge. Like, we launched, and when we launched, we created this initial launch of volume and growth, but we've never been in momentum when it comes, because the only way to get real momentum in our industry is to build the footprint a lot bigger. It's recruiting momentum. I was filling the third pillar in, which is prosperity. And so I think for us to really get maximum performance, that we have to show people how to create an abundant lifestyle. But I don't think people can create true prosperity and abundant lifestyle without purpose in place and without true product equity in place.